Are you a Smash 4 player looking to dip your toes into Melee? Are you completely new to competitive Melee but want to get into it? Well, you've come to the right video. This video will hopefully answer all your questions and concerns. This video is pretty long and ranty, so I've left timestamps on the screen and in the description. And yeah, without any further introduction, let's get this started. Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Dr. Apolly. And as you guys have known, I've been talking quite a bit about Melee on my channel, and I've been streaming it a bit too. This is obviously because I've been starting to play Melee. Like I said in my History of Smash 4 video, the game just got extremely boring to me. And ever since I got my computer and I can now play on Dolphin and play Melee, I decided I'd try and play the game. So, a little bit of background information, I guess. As you can tell, I came into Melee with strong roots in Smash 4. I lived, breathed, and walked everything Smash 4. I mained Luigi, and this is pretty important because Luigi isn't really that great at ledge trapping. You don't really make the greatest use of like ledge trumping, like one of the main mechanics Smash 4 has that's exclusive to Smash 4 as of right now, is ledge trumping, and Luigi never really used that, so going from ledge trumping to edge guarding wasn't too big of a change for me. I'm used to being in disadvantaged state and being juggled for a very long time, and as you can tell from the footage here, I'm a Falco main. It's probably pretty weird seeing a Smash 4 player go from playing Smash 4 to playing Falco, who is like the most technical character in Melee, one of the most technical. Probably him and Fox are the most technical. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still pretty new to this game. Falco and Fox, probably the most technical characters in the game. If you're a Smash 4 player and you're looking into getting into Melee, you should probably not play these characters. I just have just a lot of memories, and like I really have fond memories of like watching Falco in tournament. I'm a huge fan of Mango, West Balls, PPMD. I just love watching Falco in Melee. Now that I'm playing Falco, I think he's solidified his place as my favorite character in Super Smash Bros. History. He is so much fun to play with. His shine combos, his back air, his down air, his lasers, everything this character does is extremely cool and extremely fun to pull off. And that's something important to note too. I've been watching Melee for quite a while, even before Smash 4 came out. After Smash 4 came out, I didn't watch nearly as much, but from what I watched before, I still had a general idea of how you were supposed to play Melee, specifically Falco. If you're a Smash 4 player, I probably recommend you don't play Falco. You should probably play Marth or Puff or Captain Falcon. Puff isn't really that technical and probably fits a Smash 4 playstyle a lot more than, of course, Fox and Falco do. Those guys are like the most Melee characters in the game. Falcon, I feel like, is a lot of fundamentals like tech chasing, spacing out your knees properly. Probably a much better character to choose if you're trying to learn Melee. And Marth, I think, is the same thing, only to a lesser extent because of his super long sword hitboxes and grab range. Well, I guess Peach also, because you don't really need to learn how to L cancel, you can just kind of float cancel. So yeah, if you're a Smash 4 player, you probably shouldn't play Fox or Falco. Basically anyone else is fine, just don't play Fox or Falco. Being a Smash 4 player also helps because you have a general understanding of how Smash is supposed to be played. Like, you generally know you're supposed to read DI when you combo, mix up your tech options. You're already familiar with the basic tech options you have in the game, so that helps, but a lot of the stuff that you are used to is completely different in Melee. Now, before we get into the differences of Melee and Smash 4, I want to preface that I was never a top player in Smash 4. I was pretty good. I think I was fairly good, but I was never like a top player. I wasn't a low-level player. I was probably like high end of mid-level sort of player. I also played the game from release in 2014 to mid-2018. I want to say between May and March of 2018 is around when I stopped playing. And I started playing Melee around mid-June. It's mid-August right now, August 15th that I'm recording this. So what you're seeing right now is the result of someone who's been playing Smash 4 exclusively for almost 3.5, 4 years, to someone who decided to play Melee for 3 months. And even then, it wasn't even 3 months because I was traveling and whatnot because of summer vacation. So more accurately, it's like 2 months I've been playing this game. If you're completely new to Smash, you also have some advantages over someone who switched from Smash 4, in that you're not really used to a lot of the Smash 4 things. Like, I played with tap jump when I played Smash 4, so there's no tap jump in Melee, so I had to get used to tilting your controller, tilting your analog stick up, and then pressing A instead of like just holding up and then pressing A. I had to use the C stick when I wanted to use up air out of a jump without using my double jump. Those are two things I still think I'm not too used to. Ledge hogging was never really something that took me too long to get used to, but if you're a Smash 4 player and you use the ledge trumping mechanic a lot, that'll take something to get used to. So yeah, I think there's definitely advantages and disadvantages to going in from Smash 4 and going in blind, but I think it's generally the same. It kind of evens out in the end. Now, for the differences between the two, the main thing is the air dodging. In Smash 4, you can kind of just air dodge multiple times, and it's a really strong defensive option, especially when you're in the air, especially for some characters like Ness, Lucas, who have really good aerial mobility, and Mewtwo, who teleports. And I just gotta say straight up, I greatly prefer directional air dodges as opposed to like the multiple air dodging in the air. It's just so much better. Wave dashing is such an amazing movement option now that I'm starting to use it more. Like, I went back and played Smash 4 and the air dodges and the dashes just felt so off. That's the next thing I want to talk about. The dashes are much better in Melee. You can tech chase a lot better. It's a much better mix-up option than just like kind of moving around in and out of the opponent's hitbox area like I kind of did in Smash 4. Crouch canceling is huge in Melee. I know I played Falco, and Falco's downer kind of just destroys crouch canceling, but even regardless, crouch canceling is just huge in Melee. Shield pressure is a lot different. I don't want to say there's no shield pressure in Smash 4. Maybe it's just Luigi's shield that sucked, but I still did get shield pressured. But in Melee, it's a lot more prominent. That along with shield poking as well. In Smash 4, there's also a lot of moves that just straight up break shields, whereas in Melee, I don't think I've ever had my shield broken, or I've even watched multiple sets over the past 3 months because I've been playing exclusively Melee, basically. I haven't even seen any shield breaks. Maybe just Falco doesn't get his shield broken, but even then, I don't remember like any major shield breaks in Melee at all. Shield dropping is also fairly important. I'm still not used to shield dropping. That's something I need to work on. Shield dropping and SDI. Two things I feel like I need to work on a lot. Those are both defensive options, which are things you don't really practice in training mode. So yeah, I don't have as much practice with them. Back to the air dodging point, it's just like, I'm sorry, but it's just so much better. I'm so glad Ultimate is deciding to use directional air dodging. You're literally trading like the greatest movement option and mix-up option in like platform fighters history for a broken defensive option. It's so much better, so much more fun to use. I prefer it greatly to multiple spamming air dodges. After playing Melee, and I even started playing Ravels of Ether a little bit, it's just so much better. Like, I can't preface that enough. It's just so much better than the multiple air dodges. I can't even play a game with multiple air dodges now without feeling like I'm losing something. It's just so much better. I'm so glad Ultimate has directional air dodges. Hopefully they add at least wave landing, wave dashing. I don't really care if they add wave dashing, but at least add wave landing so you can land on platforms quicker and slide off platforms and do cool stuff on platforms. And yeah, L canceling was pretty annoying. It's still pretty annoying. I still don't get it 100% of the time. I definitely agree with the majority that L canceling just should not be in the game. I love wave dashing, but L canceling is really silly. I just don't want that in any game I want to play ever. It's just really annoying. I don't know what else I can say about it. The defensive options in this game are a lot harder than they are in Smash 4. You can't buffer grabs out of shield, so you can't shield grab as much. Falco in general doesn't have nearly as many grab combos as Luigi before when I used to play Luigi. I'm kind of used to getting thrown off stage and then dying right away because I played Luigi and he had like the worst recovery. Maybe not the worst recovery, but like the most exploitable recovery, I'd say. Melee characters in general are just extremely broken. Like, I definitely agree with the majority of Smash 4 players that are like, Melee is a broken game. Like, the game is really broken. Like, it's extremely broken. The top tiers in that game are extremely broken. The mid tiers are like mid tiers, they're like average characters, like fair and honest characters. But the top tiers, like Fox, Falco, Peach, Marth, Jigglypuff, they all have something completely retarded, ridiculous about them. Like Falco's down air and shine that comes out frame 1 and is invincible and can be done out of crouch cancel. It's extremely broken. Falco is an extremely broken character. Like, Jigglypuff has a move that kills you at like 0, or I guess depending on how heavy you are, it can kill you at like 10 or 15%. Peach's down smash does like 60%, so like the game is extremely broken. The top tiers especially are extremely broken. As for the mechanics being broken, I don't think they're actually all that broken. The lack of buffers on jumps and air dodges makes wave dashing unnecessarily hard to do. I went from wave dashing in Melee to wave dashing in Project M to wave dashing in Rivals of Aether, and it just got significantly easier every time I switched over. Rivals was extremely easy to wave dash and wave land and whatnot, it was great. So as for the training regimen I did, for the first week or so, all I did was try and wave dash and wave land and shine wave dash and shine wave land. That's all I tried doing for like basically the first week I tried playing this game. It's something very fundamental in Melee that I really wanted to get down. I think I'm pretty decent at it now for playing for only 3 months, more like 2 months now. I practiced about an hour and a half a day. It wasn't just tech skill, of course. I would also play against people and just get completely bodied. Like, I would just get completely thrashed in the game. It's not even funny how badly I get beaten up. But I needed to do it because training mode doesn't really teach you defensive measures like angling your shield, using light shields, learning how to shine out of shield. That's Falco and Fox specific, but learning how to shine out of shield was something that took me a while to learn how to do, but I think I've gotten pretty good at it now. Doing shield pressure is pretty important. Incorporating that with shine grabs is really important. Again, those are things that I think I've gotten pretty decent at nowadays. For those of you who are curious, I do start to sometimes take games off people who've been playing for like a year or two. Sometimes I take a game off them, like very rarely. As you can expect with just about any game you play, the people who play longer are gonna be better than you at it. That was definitely one of the things that annoyed me about Smash 4, like with Rage and like the really simple neutral, it was extremely easy for like random people to start beating you, whereas in Melee that just does not happen. You have to straight up be better than your opponent to be winning. Playing against people also taught me how to play neutral better, although I still don't think I really know how to play neutral in this game. I kind of just like laser around and like down air, but it's definitely a lot different and a lot deeper than it was in Smash 4, I feel. In Smash 4, it was basically throw your projectile, if you had a projectile, and just like grab, shield, and attack, kind of. But in Melee, you are dash dancing around their bubble of attack range, you're wave dashing more, you're also throwing out attacks, but there's also countermeasures to block those attacks, like power shielding lasers. And yeah, thanks to dash dancing and wave dashing, I feel like there's a lot more baiting and there's a lot more mix-ups you can do in Melee. Same thing with recovery. Recovery is something I think I'm really bad at Melee. Mainly because I think I'm just used to having free recoveries in Smash 4. There's a lot more variation you have in Melee. I feel like there's even a little bit too much variation you have. Like, Falco has like, what, 5 different shortens out of his side B, and then he has like 300 angles he can use out of his up B, and his air dodge can also help him get on stage. You can also shine stall to mix up your timing even more. It's kind of ridiculous how many options you have, at least for Falco, to recover. So yeah, generally I think it's really important that you play against other people to learn, you know, again, defensive measures and neutral. And it's also important to play by yourself and just practice tech skill. What else? Ledge dashing is still really hard for me to do. I can only get it down like 30-40% of the time, I think. and double lasers really aren't safe. I just die whenever I try and use double lasers at the ledge against someone. Also, another thing, when you go from training mode to playing against real people, like, it's really weird because, like, they actually shield and you can't just attack them all the time. Like, in training mode, I'm just trying to make my own combo video the entire time. But, like, when I play against people, it's nothing like that. I have to actually play smart, and optimal melee really isn't as cool as you probably see in those combo videos on YouTube. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it can get really cool, like, again, those combo videos, but generally, most of the time, it's not as cool as that. Especially when you play against, like, a Marth main, and they just, like, dash around and then grab you and chain grab, and yeah, it's not nearly as hype as, like, some stuff isn't nearly as hype as you probably think it is. Also, another thing to mention is that I played basically exclusively Falco. I know a lot of Smash 4 players, and probably players who first start the game, want to experiment with a lot of characters, but I've never really been a fan of playing a lot of characters. I just want to play, like, a few characters and be really good with them. That's what I've always preferred. That's just the gameplay approach I always preferred, so Melee's small roster never really bothered me all that much. So yeah, I experimented with Mario, Marth, and Fox, like, a little bit, but it was nothing major. 99% of the time I was playing this game, I was trying to do something with Falco. I don't think that's really as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, like, oh, the roster size is so small. I mean, yeah, okay, compared to Smash 4's roster, it is kind of small, but I think that since the characters are just so much deeper than they are in Smash 4, that it doesn't really matter all that much. But that's just how I see it, at least. You may prefer less deep characters, but just more characters in general. I personally prefer deeper characters less characters that are deeper. The only character in Smash 4 that really rivals, like, a melee character's depth, well, melee, everything is based off my melee Falco, right? The only character in Smash 4 that really rivals melee Falco's depth is Sheik. And really, from what I've seen of Sheik and what I've seen of Falco, I think that Sheik only has about 70% of the depth that Falco has. But Falco's crazy versatile, one of the most versatile characters in the game, probably next to Fox. So, I mean, it's not saying much, to be honest. She's probably just as deep as a lot of melee characters, if I'm being honest with you. So to answer the question of how hard is it to get into melee, or how long does it take to get good at melee, it obviously depends on what your definition of good is. If by good you mean start beating, you know, mid-level players, I think it'll probably take 3 or 4 months. I'm starting to beat players now, but I had a little bit of background in melee before, but then of course you may be a quicker learner than I am. It also depends on your character. Falco, again, one of the hardest characters to learn in melee. Super technical, not friendly for a previous Smash 4 player. If you play someone like Puff or Marth or Captain Falcon, I feel like you'd probably grow a lot quicker than I did. If by good you mean become a ranked player, I mean, depending on your region, but become a ranked player, like, worldwide, like make PGR top 100, or what is it, Melee It On Me rankings top 100, then it'll probably take you a year and a half at minimum. Minimum year and a half. No, very, very bare minimum a year. And that's if you go hardcore. If you're like me and played maybe 1 hour to 2 hours a day, just moderately playing just to have fun, then it'll probably take you, I want to say, 3 to 4 months to get used to the game and start taking, like, some games off people. I take, like, 1 out of 10 games off people, but I still bring it kind of close most of the time. The game is still fun even when you're losing, and it's super rewarding when you start winning your first games. So yeah, a common comment I get on my channel is that melee is too hard to get into and it's too hard to play and all that stuff. And to be honest, do I agree with it? Kind of, but also not really. 20XX has a lot of tools to help you get good, and after the first month or two when you learn how to wave dash and can L cancel somewhat consistently, the game gets extremely fun. I think the game still has a sort of easy to play, hard to master philosophy. I really think that people overrate just how hard melee is to get into. The players in general that play melee are better, obviously, because they've been playing the game longer. but that's to be expected. Every other esport, League of Legends, Dota 2, you have to memorize like 500 different monsters and like what they each do, all their nuances. Also, those games have more inputs per second than even Melee does. Melee's input per second is high, especially since you're only using your thumb, but it's not as bad as a lot of other esports. I think that's also kind of overrated. My hands only started to hurt after like 2 hours, 3 hours of just raw tech skill practice. And I only did that once, so my fingers only actually hurt like one time out of the 3 months I played it. So yeah, I hope this video helped you understand Melee more if you're an outsider wishing to go in or speculating, should I get in, should I not get in. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions or anything you want to tell me in the comments, maybe about how bad I am at, playing Melee, if you do play Melee and are familiar with the game and you're watching this, let me know. If you still have comments about Melee and you're not a Melee player and you're a Smash 4 player and you're trying to get into Melee, then also let me know. As for which one I prefer, Smash 4 or Melee, I think they both have their upsides and downsides. Smash 4's skill ceiling is too low, and Melee's skill ceiling I think is a bit too high. And that's because a lot of stuff in Melee isn't intentional. So a lot of stuff like Shine Out of Shield is unnecessarily hard. Like, case in point, Project M and Rivals of Aether have way easier tech skill than Melee. Each of them again have their own strengths and weaknesses, but if I had to choose one, yeah, I'm gonna say Melee's better. I'm a lot better at Smash 4 and I still enjoy playing Melee more than I enjoy playing Smash 4. Its combos and movement is a game that caters to me specifically a lot more. Just because I prefer Melee doesn't mean that I'm not gonna play Smash 4 or Ultimate when that comes out. I'm for sure still gonna play those games, probably even gonna take precedence over Melee for the first year or two. I really just started playing Melee because, again, I got my computer and I just got bored of Smash 4. And I think it's definitely worth trying out for everyone, especially if you're like me and you love combos and movement, because Melee really just has that in abundance. With all that being said, I hope this video helped you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.